So the Runchat dashboard is your home base. It's where you'll find your workflows, organize them, and then jump back into whatever you're working on. Here's a tour of what you'll see and how everything fits together. So when you open Runchat, you'll land on the dashboard. On the left side, there's this slim navigation rail with a few places that you can go. The first in the top left creates a new workflow. Then there's workflows, which is the default view. It's your main library of project. Artifacts is a collection of publishable documents like presentations, websites that can be procedurally generated. Tasks is where workflows show up that you want to run on a schedule. And teams is where you manage teammates and seats. We'll cover that in a different video. So right next to the rail is the folders panel. You can drag this to make it wider or narrower. And this is where the folder structure lives. If you're brand new and haven't made anything yet, the dashboard greets you with some short video tutorials instead of an empty space, so you've got somewhere to start. Workflows show up as a grid of cards, and to show you what that looks like, we'll just quickly create a workflow. We can use this button in the top right or this other button in the top left. We are shown the example grid, so you can pick any one of these examples if you'd like to see how Runchat can be used to provide any of these capabilities, but we'll just go and create a new blank workflow. I'm going to, in the top left, rename it to my first workflow. Quickly, I'm going to make a few assets of a Gary building. Going to make a few variations of this because I want to show you how image assets and other assets show up in the dashboard. So in the top left, to get back to the dashboard, we can go to the Runchat menu in the top left and then select workflows under dashboards. So you'll see that our workflow now appears and a preview is made from all the most recent images and outputs of the work that's been produced on there. You see the workflow name, which you can rename using the edit button on the right side. You can see when it was last edited and who created it if you're in a team. And then if I right click on the workflow, I have a few options. I can add it to an existing folder that I have. I can create a new folder. I could schedule a task if it was a workflow that I want to run on a schedule. Can rename it and download its assets or delete it. So workflows by default are sorted with your most recently edited ones first. So whatever you're just working on is always at the top. And then there's a search workflows input here if you would like to find something by name. Folders in Runchat are how you keep things tidy. You can nest them as deep as you like currently. Client projects folder might contain a folder for each client, and each of those might contain folders for different campaigns. To move a workflow into a folder, you first need to create the folder. So I have one here, but we'll create a new one. We'll call it new folder. And then to move a workflow into this folder, again, you can right click it to move it into that folder. You can also grab your workflows and then drag it into this new folder. You'll notice that once I've dragged it into this folder, it no longer shows up in the default view on the dashboard. And so if I select this folder, I can now see the workflow within it. If I go back to the main dashboard. If workflows are organized, they're only visible inside of the folders they've been moved to. So Runchat has a single toggle that flips your view between your own workflows and your team's workflows. It's not two separate sections, it's just one switch at the top of the dashboard. When it's off, you'll see what you've made. So this is showing only my workflows. And then if I switch it back on, it's showing my teams. Currently, there's no team workflows in here. It's just me. Teams are how sharing works in Runchat. So if you're in a team, your teammates can see and open workflows you've made in the team space. So that's the whole dashboard. Once you're comfortable moving workflows into folders and finding your way back to recent projects, you've got everything you need to keep your work organized as you build more.